And welcome back. More and more federal and state and local leaders are becoming concerned about the growing technological threat from the Chinese government. U.S. Senate Intelligence Committee Chairman Marc called upon the Federal Trade Commission to investigate the social media platform after allegations that TikTok engineers and executives in the People's Republic of China repeatedly accessed private data of U.S. users, despite claims to lawmakers and others that this data was protected. These revelations undermine the longstanding claims by TikTok management that the company's operations were firewalled from demands of the Chinese Communist Party. Marc, this week, Governor Larry Hogan took steps in conjunction with some other Republican governors to ban not just TikTok, but other Chinese and Russian influenced products and platforms. Why do you take these steps against the social media sites, which many consider harmless entertainment?
Well, TikTok, I will just go to that one in particular. It really is uncanny, the personal data that they're able to pick up in terms of making recommendations to watch it. So there is considerable privacy consideration on that. As for the other sites, I must confess there's kind of a slippery slope there of access to content internationally and whether it's appropriate or not. I will tell you there are plenty of people, I'll probably offend a lot of iPhone users by making the observation, but there are plenty of people who have concerns about Apple and the way in which it arguably has kowtowed to the Chinese government and responded to the Chinese government requests and concerns about that. So the challenge is, and I'm not suggesting remotely that you want to ban Apple products, but I think it's kind of important to make a kind of clear distinction of the unique threat that TikTok has, as opposed to trying to wall off content that comes in from other sources.
Well, I mean, we all know that social media is all pervasive. I mean, all you have to do is think about buying a product, and the next thing you know, Google has a pop-up ad for it. So, I mean, we all know that that social media can, knows what you're thinking and buying in your buying habits. But what is the threat from looking at these sites? And Cary, the stated reason is that the crackdown is the fear that American data is in jeopardy of falling prey to the Chinese government. While TikTok spokesman Brooke Oberwetter criticized the restrictions as largely fueled by misinformation about the company. I mean, there's a real danger that government data is going to be sucked up by these social media sites.
I actually happen to agree with Governor Hogan. I mean, the reality is, like, as you said, hey, we just bought a sofa the other day and we were talking about it in the house. And of course, our dear friend listens to Alexa. And then the next thing you know, on Facebook, I get ads from Marlo, from Ashley's and Bob's and all these new sofas, leather sofas. So, if we don't, I mean, China is a commercial, they put themselves into the place of commercialism.
But I guess the next step is not just knowing what your social buying habits are, but how do they use that data to manipulate not our thinking, not our buying necessarily, but our thinking. Marc.
Well, I was going to say, Cary, I'm a Luddite, so I don't use Alexa for exactly that reason, because I don't want all my conversations turned into some kind of a part of some algorithm to do it. But you raise it, obviously it's an important thing. It's a useful tool and some information that is very, very specific and very targeted, and it can be very useful for both marketing, but also for more nefarious, can be stuff that we routinely expose on social media or on internet platforms in general.
And something, never underestimate the power of the economy. Okay, if China can somehow get that data and increase their influence on the buying public towards Chinese companies, you know what? That helps that Chinese government in a whole realm of areas. So,
well, look, I'm a national security devotee, and I recognize the threat that China represents to the United States in Eastern Asia. I mean, I just think that we have to be recognizing that, they are not necessarily our friends, they are our adversaries, and we have to treat them as such. But we also they're business partners, and we're going to have to find a way to find a balanced medium of dealing with it. As we go to break into our next topic, I did mention, tongue in cheek, about the need to improve the efficiency of Baltimore City. We're going to have to leave that for another show where we talk about, the ambitious efforts that Governor Moore has to improve the situations in Baltimore City.